So now that you know what I do, I smoke tobacco and I drink alcohol. Now I'm going to be very clear about what I don't do. I draw a line, and my line is golden when it comes down to any illegal drug use. And that's not just lip service. I could actually give you the name of the motel that I, not too long ago, I don't remember exactly when, I actually had an entire motel shut down. I mean, it wasn't like my intention. I didn't know how the police were going to go about doing their operation. All I did was submit information on some drug dealing activity going on not too far from my local zone. And the reason why I made the choice to submit this information is because I was furious. I was very hurt. I was very insulted because there were a number of people who, I get invitations to like kind of house parties where there was drug activity going on. And I was very hurt, very insulted, and very angry that there were dealers who were trying to drag me into their gutter world. And to try to get me hooked on their stuff. And I decided, you know what? While I'm inside of this party, I'm going to be here undercover, and I'm going to start documenting information and then submit it to my local police. Hold up, my blue light went off. I'm currently experimenting with the blue light to see what effect it has on my neurons. And my neurons just went down. Wait. That's better. Yeah, that blue light. There's something about that blue light. Wow. That's good neuron food, the blue light. Wow. So anyway, yeah. So not too long ago, with the help of my boyfriend at the time, he actually came with me when I told him, I said, let's turn some people in. You know, and it was a risky thing to do. It's very risky, but we were okay. The whole area where the dealers were operating, that whole place got shut down. And it looks like just everybody disappeared. Because at first, initially I was a little afraid. I was concerned that it would get back to them, that I was the so-called rat, that I'm the one that like went in there undercover to turn them in. And the reason why I did that was because I took it very personally. Whether it's a party environment, any anon that tries to push their junk on me, the way my mind processes that is, oh, this is an assault on my life. I take that very personally. So that's why I did not feel bad about turning in dealers. In my conscience, I know I did the right thing. So that's where I draw the line. I have an absolutely zero illegal drug use rule. And then I pretty much covered my list of my sin confession statements. What I left out was because some people might consider this a sin, and when I say sin, I say, well, in general, what some people might consider a sin. I don't consider drinking alcohol or smoking tobacco a sin, but some people might, so that's why I listed as sin. I told you I've done erotic dancing or whatnot. Some people might list that as sin, so that's why I'm covering the sin bases, So, when I was particularly in my college years, I'm a humanities major, so you just get a lot of junk classes. So one of the classes I registered for, believe me, this is going to lead me to the sin. It starts with the class. I registered for a class called Women in Fiction, and then when the class started, a bunch of people just dropped out of the class. And the reason why, because there's like a subheading to the class, and then the professor lets us know when we're already registered in the class that this class is really women in lesbian fiction, which is why there was like a big dropout rate. But at this point, I was already very well through my program, getting towards the end, and I needed my credits, and I'm not going to change anything at this point. It's hard to change classes last minute, so I went through the journey. Wow, it was such a brainwashing experience. So when in that environment, because of who I would associate with, I wound up hanging a lot in the club that's called the LGBTQ. And even though my relationships have been with men, I've had some degree, minor, but some degree of sexual experiences with other women. And, I don't really consider it a sin. I don't. Because, I got out in time. I don't think that, for instance, even though when you look at that club, most people call it the LGBTQ, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as LGBTQ, but the bisexual people are pretty normal. And I have a scientific reason to back that up, because all humans have a recessive fluid gay trait. And what I mean by that is, as long as the dominant trait is a procreative instinct, and you're healthy mentally. But I got out of that club because everybody other than the letter B is really demented. Really demented and really demonic. Like, under demonic oppression. So, that's why I didn't stay to hang out in that club.